Force Kappa 42. Angel reporting in. Hey everybody, I know it's been a while and I haven't really posted much lately as far as debriefings, but I have a good reason. The O5Xs have sort of, well, changed my job description just a little bit. I haven't been as active in the SCP organization lately and have been sent to do more, well, I don't know, normal people-friendly things. Anyway, I do have a briefing for tonight, if you're interested, that is. If you are, let's go ahead and get started. SCP-336, also known as Lilith. Object Class, Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-336 is to be provided living quarters 6 meters by 6 meters in size, maintained regularly. This maintenance, as well as all other tasks requiring direct contact with SCP-336, are to be carried out exclusively by female personnel, i.e. me. SCP-336 may make requests for furnishings or items. However, approval of these requests are contingent on SCP-336's cooperation with personnel and subject to Dr. Erickson's approval. Requests for access to anomalous or dangerous items are to be denied immediately. A voice modulator device fitted over SCP-336's mouth is to be checked and maintained by Level 0 personnel weekly. The modulator may be unlocked with a 6-digit combination provided to personnel Level 2 and higher for the purpose of testing SCP-336. In the event of the device's failure or unintended deactivation, local lockdown procedures are to be respected until SCP-336 has been isolated. Description: SCP-336 appears to be a pale-skinned human female of otherwise Arabic or Middle Eastern descent in its late 20s. SCP-336 is 1.73 meters tall and weighs about 150 pounds, as of its last physical. Subject requires no sleep or sustenance and does not appear to be affected by aging or sickness of any nature. The object is anatomically human with the exception of dermal irregularities along the thighs and calves, which appear structurally similar to reptilian scales. SCP-336 behaves impassively and detached with regards to human beings and demonstrates highly introverted behavior. The subject is highly intelligent and analytical, having scored in the 95th percentile or above in most intelligence tests. A noticeable improvement in attitude is observed when SCP-336 uses a mirror, as the subject has been noted to be highly narcissistic and has a tendency to spend long periods of time admiring its own reflection. Human subjects directly exposed to the unobstructed vocalizations of SCP-336 experience one of two effects depending on the presence of a Y chromosome in the subject's genome. Subjects lacking a Y chromosome and possessing otherwise healthy reproductive systems will experience inexplicable infertility. The duration of this infertility varies, but it is directly proportional to the amount of time of the exposure. Subjects with Y chromosomes experience a separate anomaly that presents itself after 2 to 3 hours of exposure to SCP-336's voice. During an affected subject's next regular sleep cycle, he will instead enter a coma of 6 to 8 hours in the duration of a place of a normal rest. Over the course of this coma, approximately 100 grams of non-essential tissue, typically from the subject's rib cage, will separate from the subject seamlessly and inexplicably increase in mass, transforming into a full-grown instance of SCP-336-1 before the subject awakens. Instances of SCP-336-1 are various adult female organisms formed from disparate anatomical elements selected seemingly at random from 2 or more genetically unrelated vertebrates. 90% of instances incorporate elements from 2 or more of the following species: Homo sapiens, Aquila fasciata, Viperia amagatis, Panthera leopersea, Bos primogenius, Equispheros purzaki, and an unidentified subspecies of Capra agaricus. Current findings suggest that the genetic makeup of the affected subject directly correlates with the composition of the corresponding instance. Research is ongoing. The majority of these hybrids are not anatomically viable and typically expire within 2 weeks. Surviving instances are irrationally violent and demonstrate no evidence of higher intelligence. SCP-336 has demonstrated mild disdain for instances of SCP-336-1 and has been reluctant to discuss both the organisms and the means of their creation. As SCP-336 has been otherwise cooperative with Foundation personnel, the reason for this behavior is unknown. As of late, recent experimentation has identified an irregularity in the object's effects on subjects whose chromosomes exhibit the Cohen modal halotype. Instances of SCP-336-01 formed from such subjects are exclusively Homo sapiens, with no hybridized anatomy. Additionally, these instances demonstrate intelligent and limited innate knowledge, including fluent speech in the subject's native language. 2 of these instances have been retained for long-term study. Okay guys, there's your briefing for tonight. You may not be able to tell, but I'm still sick. The doc says I have bronchitis or something, which I think is weird because half of my lungs are made of metal and gears, so I don't really see how they can be affected by something like bronchitis, and I really don't see how something like Nasonex could help me, but you know what, the doc is the doc, and I can only assume that he has some level of medical expertise. Whether that is true or not, I don't really know. So, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed your SCP Sunday, as it's now going to be called, I suppose. I'm going to try and sneak a couple of unauthorized debriefings in here, not that these were actually authorized to begin with, but I'm going to try and sneak some unscheduled projects in here, because you know what, I really don't like being told what to do. So with that being said, stay safe, stay alert, and yeah, this one's just pretty weird, isn't it?